what's up, my chatterboxes? This is my review for Love After Lockup, Season 3, Episode 15, Cuffing Season. If you guys haven't done so already, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. Please don't forget to share my videos. I really, really appreciate it. Without further ado, let's just get right into the messiness of it all. So we're going to start off with Shawn and Destiny. Shawn is panicking because we all know from last week, Destiny stayed out partying with her sister the night before she had to go to court, which was a bad move anyway. I said, you know what I mean? Like, and he should have put his foot down, but Destiny don't listen to him no goddamn way. So he's panicking. She's not answering his phone. She keep putting it to the voicemail. So of course, you know, his anxiety is building up. So he was like, you know, she never made it to a court appearance. She always, fled. So we find out that she's going to court for an escape charge. So you remember they told us in previous episodes that she cut her ankle monitor off, and then and I guess she got arrested when she finally got arrested. She got arrested, and they slapped the escape charge. So this is what she's going to court for now. So he's always talking about, well, maybe, everyone was right. This was a bad idea. Listen, Shawn, a blind man can see that it was a goddamn bad idea. Now you talking about that if she don't show up, you kind of out of $100,000. First off, let's just dissect that for a minute. You barely know this girl. You met her when she was in jail. And you telling me that you will, if she flee, you will be out of basically like $100,000. So that's telling me because $50,000 is on the line for the bail. So that means you pumped another $50,000 in her just from her being in jail and you buying her and supporting her. Ain't no way in God's green earth should you have been investing in that kind of money into that daggone girl right there. Okay? You got 6 goddamn kids, and you telling me you be down $100,000 on this heifer? You know what? You deserve whatever you get because you want stupid mother effer, okay? You want stupid mother effer. And if she clean you dry, you deserve it because you too damn stupid. You had no business doing it. No business. I'm saying it like his mom, but I'm sorry. He don't have no business doing it. He got 6 goddamn kids. She ain't worth it. She really not. She's not worth it. Anyway, so she finally bring her ass to the goddamn courthouse. And Shawn, his whole voice was changing when he was like, oh, you made it. You made it. So I know I'm not feeling like him, but his voice was changing because he was so relieved that he seen her. And his sister was like, her sister was like, what, you thought I wasn't going to bring her? I was going to bring her. And then, her mom came with her and everything like that. So she was saying how she normally, panic around this time. But the lawyer is reassuring her that they're going to throw this charge out. Now, we know the judge can do whatever he want to do, okay? So the lawyer can say what he need to say, but the judge is going to do what he want to do. So we shall see how this work out. All we know right now, well, I don't know, because if y'all see the previews, the mom seemed upset, and Shawn said, well, we knew that this was, a possibility. Now, if she got rearrested, Shawn said in this scene that she have a year and a half left. So at most, she probably would have to do at least a year. If they remanded her. So we shall see. I don't know because, with editing and everything like that, you don't know what the hell Shawn and them was talking about. But hey, we shall see. All we know is she made her ass to court. Moving on from them, now we got John and Christiana. So, like last episode, we were informed that Christiana mom and her sister will be coming to stay with John because of the sister doing drugs and being in an abusive relationship, and the mom wasn't in, the ideal living circumstances. So they're all at John's house now. John giving them the, rundown where they be staying, and everything like that. So we find out that Christiana, because the somebody from the parole house or the halfway house, they called him and said that she's no longer a resident of the facility. And John was trying to get some information. They was like, they not at liberty to tell you that. They only to call because he was listed as a person to contact, and he has 30 days to come get her stuff up out of the halfway house. So as he getting the phone call, her mom and her sister hears this. So he's asking the sister, would she be willing to go to Dubuque with him to find her? And she was like, no. She was like, when she get, relapse. Because first he didn't want to believe that she relapsed. But the mom said if she ran from the halfway house, she relapsed. And when she is on drugs, she don't want to be found. She go MIA. That's what the sister was saying. So John was like, just go down there with me. So, and the mom was like, first of all, you don't want to be going in Dubuque, knocking on nobody's door, looking for anybody. It's a bunch of guns, a bunch of knives, a bunch of drugs, and you go knocking on somebody's door. They don't have no problem with blowing your goddamn head off. So John had to rethink that because the sister, she flat out told him, no, I'm not going. She was like, because what would stop me from, pulling up a chair right next to her and getting high? Because they both addicts. She was like, she put up for them. She was like, no, I'm not going. And I'm not gonna say I feel bad for John because he know exactly what he got himself into. But when he later found Christiana, because he actually did go down there looking for her, and she was at some kind of like truck stop or something like that, and she had like a hoodie on, looking all discreet, and you could tell she just was like ashamed of her relapsing. So it's like, even though John, he brought all this on himself because, he forced everything. He was, wanted to be so quick, with marrying her and, forging this relationship. It's kind of still, unfair that he would have to help her through this horrible addiction. You know what I'm saying? Like, and, go through the ups and downs of what that addiction brings. She says that she, don't even know why she really relapsed. I guess it was like some triggers. And, you put her in a halfway house with people she already done drugs with. You put her in a neighborhood that she done got high. And what do you expect for these people that do struggle with drugs? And you put them in those same situations. It's almost as if y'all setting them up to fail any goddamn way. She should not have been in that halfway house. She should not have been in that particular halfway house. She just shouldn't. You know what I mean? Now she got to go back to the halfway house and face the music. Who knows how long John gonna let the sister and the mom stay there, because the mom was saying she basically was living in the meth house, and she said her daughter was sitting right there in the basement, getting high right with the users. So it just was a real bad situation. So you can't expect John, to put in the work with that if you messing up. So what now? He got 2 addicts and a sick lady? Come on now. Like, Christiana, you gonna have to do your part too. And then you gotta go back to that halfway house and face the music. Who knows? You might go back to jail. And that's more than likely that's where you gonna be, back in jail. So at this particular point, he's supposed to just be taking care of your drug addicted sister and your oxygen dependent mom. It wouldn't be me. John, you signed up for some fucked up shit, because it wouldn't be me. So now we got crazy ass Heather and Dylan. Heather is bad shit crazy, and Dylan better get the hell away from her. he says that he been with her for 5 years and him coming home, this is nothing what he expected. You think? You think? So they rushing back to the halfway house. He meets up with, I mean, not to the halfway house, to Aunt Diane's house because that's where the parole officer is. So Dylan's, he rushed over there to talk to the parole officer. The parole officer, goes to try to shake his hand. He was like, we don't do that. I'm like, well, they, he can't shake your hand. Like, oh, okay. So Dylan was like, well, I'm sorry. I'm a little nervous. So the parole officer asked him if he has a phone, and he was like, well, I have her phone. He was like, is it on? He said, yeah. He was like, well, turn it off. I don't know what was the purpose of that. Maybe he didn't want to be recorded. I don't know. But he did say to Dylan, like, I could have, normally I would cuff you, but I'm going to let you off. And Dylan was, happy. He was like, because he let him off with like a slap on the wrist. But then, like, as Dylan over there talking to this parole officer, you see Heather in there. She got like this smug look on her face. First of all, you put him in a situation just because you wanted some dick, okay? You know what I mean? Like, it's really, really, really was selfish of you and unfair. I understand you saying you've been waiting for 5 years and all this old crap, but you could have waited till Aunt Diane took her ass to sleep and got it on, or something. Like, come on, like. Ooh, she gets under my skin. She really, really does. And then so now when Dylan finished talking to the parole officer, she walking, is everything okay? Bitch. And then in the confessional, she all breaking down, crying and all this old stuff. Girl, it would have been your own fault if he would have went back to jail. It would have been your fault. You was holding all the cards with him. He was at your aunt's house. He was with you. You know what I'm saying? Like that. If he didn't go leave the house and go with you, you probably would have told him to get up out of Diane's house, because you batshit crazy. So you literally was holding all the cards and his freedom in your hand, and you was playing Russian roulette with that shit. You was. So now she's talking about, oh, well, I guess I'm going to have to get all my orgasms down at Aunt Diane's house. That's all you worrying about. That's all you worrying about. Not the fact that this man could have possibly went back to jail. You worrying about busting a nut. Oh my God. So, so he came in the house and apologized to Aunt Diane and told her that she don't have nothing to worry about. And she was like, he was like, I'm not gonna cause no trouble with the parole. I mean, she was like, I know you ain't gonna cause no trouble. Like, she probably like, I'm from what I'm taking from that, like, I'm not gonna allow you to bring no trouble to me when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? So they goes in the bedroom. He was trying to get the big bag from crazy ass Heather. She all acting like He-Man, and she like, no, I got it. You know what I mean? They goes in the room, and then that's all you hear is them making out and having sex. And the aunt go say to Aunt Diane, the other aunt, I forgot her name. She said to Aunt Diane, this gonna be one big happy house. Like, I'm like, oh my goodness. Like, y'all couldn't keep the noise down. They were loud in there. Like, I'm like, yeah. I'm like, Heather is bad shit crazy. But Aunt Diane know how her niece rolls. She know who she is. So now we got Scott and Lindsay. They're still fussing and fighting because Scott feel like he feel like the excerpt in the book is about him. He says that if it's really something from out of a book, she should be able to produce the book. She said to Scott, and I died laughing when she said that. She was like, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. She was like, but you don't have enough money for me to be trying to scam you. And then she made up an interesting point. She said that when she was in prison, Scott would tell her, that she could do what she want with, the money. She could buy whatever she want. She said when she tried to spend money, he gets weird. So at that particular point, I'm trying to figure out who the fuck is scamming who. Like, is Lindsay scamming Scott? Scamming Scott, or is it they're scamming each other? Because he has been falling short on some of the stuff that he was saying. Just like episode 1, he was saying, oh, his budget was from $1 to $1 million. And you don't even have the house fixed up. The house fixed up for Lindsay's daughter. Like, the house, it's livable, but certain parts of the house isn't done. So where's all this money and all that you claimed you had? Because this shit could have been done like that. It could have been done without a problem. So now Lindsay is trying to find out. She's calling the halfway house to see how she can get her halfway house transferred to her mother house. Her mom agreed to allowing her to come because she said that's ridiculous. Like, Scott carrying on. And she was like, listen, I'm used to guards in jail going through my things without having to give without me having to give consent. She was like, I'm not going to do that where I live. She was like, and she'd rather be back in jail. They have to do that there. So the parole officer said that they would have to work that out with the Bureau of Prisons, and that's going to take days. So at this particular point, she feel like she's stuck at the house with Scott, and she said that she do want to work it out with Scott, because she, I guess I don't know, did she grow feelings for Scott, or do she want to see if she can get a little bit more out of him? I don't know what her motive is, but I think she has realized that Scott ain't got what he claimed he has. So what would be the real draw to keep messing with Scott? And then she already gave Scott gave him some sex. You know what I mean, with that lip. Oh my goodness! I thought for sure she wasn't going to sleep with him. I really, really did. But she gave it to him, and he asking her questions like, have I, treated you wrong? Has I been disrespectful towards you? And she was like, no. He was like, so Scott, I don't know. It's like he like a manipulator. Like, he is really, really a manipulator. And you gotta watch him, because she said something to him, and she was like, I see why you single at 51. I can't remember exactly what she said to him. If y'all do, just drop in the comments and remind me of what he said to her. But something is off with Scott. I can't put my hand on it. He's weird. He creeps me out, and he's a liar. We know that. And he probably in so much debt he don't have nearly as much as what he said she has. I mean, he said he has. And then she was flipping out because he had made a comment to her, and she was like, yeah, I always had my daughter, because he was saying, would you bring Molly Grace here if her room and everything was fixed up? And she was like, yeah, I wouldn't look like I'm being here and I don't have my daughter. I always had my daughter unless I was in jail. So who knows? Maybe he'll try to fix the room up to get Molly Grace there to make her a little bit more happier. I don't know, because she said he don't really like spending no money. So that's to be determined with them. That was a mess. So we find out in this episode where Shonda has been. So we're gonna get into Shonda and Tyrese. So we see Tyrese. He's working out. Getting his keeping his body fit. And he was saying that it's been actually 3 months since he's actually heard from Shonda. I didn't realize it was that long. And he said, maybe his daughter was right when she said, she was just using you and she ghosted you. He was like, he's starting to believe that. Then we see Shauna. So Shauna is talking to the producers because we learned that she was ghosting the producers as well. So she finally agreed to sit down and talk to the producers. She looks like she's doing real well. She said she's finally out the halfway house. The house that she staying there looks really nice. She was planting flowers and everything. She has a car. She said she's been really focusing on her sobriety. So it looked like she is doing the necessary steps that she needs to do for Shonda, okay? And I really feel like she was just using those guys in jails for self-preservation. That's what it seemed like. And so she said, and you know what? I can't really be mad at Shonda for that shit. And it might be superficial. It might be, a little vain. But I probably would have been turned off too, because she was like, it was like a buzzkill when she seen Tyrese walking up in there, that blue suit. He did look a whole goddamn mess with that damn suit. Although nobody would. First of all, she's a young lady, and you already older, and then you coming in dressed like that. Come on, Tyrese. Come on. Anyway. So, and she was like, when they kissed, and she just didn't feel anything. So she must have made up her mind right then and there that she wasn't responding back to Tyrese. She must have made that up in her head. So, the producers asked her, would she be willing to call Tyrese? And she was like, yeah. She was like, because at the end of the day, he didn't deserve how she treated him. And I'm like, okay. So she calls him, and, he was kind of, I ain't gonna say he was happy to hear her, but it was like almost like surprised to hear from her. And she basically told him, I'm sorry for ghosting you. She was like, but I had to focus on myself, and I'm not ready for a relationship. That's basically what she told him. And he was like, well, I understand that. He was like, but you could have just told me that. And so she was like, I hope we can be friends. And he was like, no, we ain't gonna be no friends. Have a good life. Take care of yourself. And he hung up. I'm like, listen, Tyrese like, fuck you, bitch. Sorry, y'all, sorry. But he wasn't feeling that. He probably was, he was hurt. He was hurt. And the producers also asked her, did the other guys that she was talking to, have she been reaching out to them? And she was like, no. She was like, mm-mm. So it's all about Shonda. And then Shonda ain't even a looker like that to be, putting people through these emotions and doing all that old thing. But I guess they thought they had a prize, and they thought she looked good. I don't know. And then Tyrese, he actually don't see that suit is a problem, because he was saying how he was going to put another one on, and he basically could care less what anybody got to say about it, and he gonna think he gonna pull somebody, and that's so okay, Tyrese. I listen. If you like it, I love it. Now we have Jessica and Maurice. They're on their way to her parents' house, and he basically like looking up to her dad, because he said he never had like a father figure around and to show him how to do different things. So Jessica was saying, well, he'll show you whatever you want to learn. Just that's all you have to do is ask. So when they finally gets to the house, Jessica, you tell him like, listen, don't tell anyone that I'm pregnant. He was like, I won't, I got you. Now we already know he got loose lips. And for some odd reason, he really want her dad's approval. Like, it's like weird to me, and I don't want, it's weird. I mean, I understand, don't everybody want to get along with their in-laws, but it's like, I don't know. Anyway, so, they're in the house, they having like little small talk. Jessica mother is asking him, has it been hard for him to look for any work? And Maurice is going to learn how to do a little bit of welding, because her father is going to show him. So Maurice was saying how he always wanted to do that. He said, so if plan A, B, and C didn't work out, that was plan D, I guess. So the dad he was like, because he was going to go to school for that. So the dad was like, well, this is not something you can learn how to do in one day. Like, it's going to take some time. He was like, oh, word? Like, yeah, word. So he was talking to the producers and saying how he really wanted that one-on-one time with the dad, but in the way he kind of nervous to have that interaction with him, and because he's talking about he like the alpha, the omega. I'm like, okay, yeah, I guess he is the alpha dog in their in their family, but you're the alpha dog in your marriage with your wife. Well, I don't know. Maybe Jessica is the alpha. We don't know. Anyway, so Jessica and the mom, they leave. They go shopping. He stays behind with the father, because like I said, he's going to teach him how to do some welding. And the dad, I know he's an experienced welder and everything like that. He was, gave him a helmet and tell him like, you got to make sure you had the helmet there on all times, because this can blind you. I was kind of shocked that they didn't have like no like long gloves on, but I guess the sparks wasn't the problem as far as burning their skin or whatever. I don't know. So the dad, he gets busy with the well, and everything sparking, and you get all this friction. Then you see Maurice. Oh my goodness, it's like it looks like a little sparkler, like a little spark here, a little spark here. I was cracking up. He eventually got it, but that shit was funny. So, they started talking, and he was telling the father, her father, how he really loves Jessica, and when he was in jail, how the way they got married, it wasn't no family there. It was just like, you want to marry her, you want to marry him, okay, sign this paper and y'all married. It wasn't no groomsmen, no bridesmaid, it wasn't none of that. He want to really do things different. So the dad was like, I appreciate that, but Maurice ain't got no money. So the dad loaned that Maurice $1,000 for him to be able to buy her a ring. So Maurice was like, oh, my uncles ain't never give me nothing. My daddy ain't never give me nothing. And I'm saying to myself, Maurice, you don't know how that comes across to the viewers, especially. I feel like you need to tone that shit down. Tone that down. Tone that down, okay? Even if it's true, tone it down. Anyway, so the dad was like, hold up. Now, that's a loan. I want my money back. He was like, that's for you to get her a ring. Like, I'm not just, like, in other words, I'm not just giving you this goddamn money for you. I'm giving it to you so you can buy my daughter a goddamn proper ring. So Maurice in his goddamn confession was talking about, I could go take that to the casino and flip that to $3,000. You better not take your ass to that damn casino. You better not, because the dad already saying that was a test. You better not fail that test, Maurice. You better not. You better not. That's all I gotta say. So he was saying, since they in a bonding moment and he trying to gain her father's trust, he ended up spilling the beans that she is pregnant. And the dad had this blank look on his face like, what the freak? You know what I mean? So then he was like, well, I don't know what to say. So Maurice was just reassuring him that he's going to, do his best to take good care of her and now the baby. And the dad let it be known, that's your responsibility. I hope you do what you say you're going to do. But I ain't raising that baby. That's your kid. I ain't raising it. And I'm like, that's fair. That's fair. I don't think he asked you to raise it, but that's fair. You threw it out there. I don't know if it was warranted, but, whatever. So, like I said, Maurice is a goddamn mess. He's a mess. And I don't know. I like Maurice, but some stuff I feel like he need to tone down. I really do. So that's all I got for you guys. If I missed anything, just throw it down in the comment section and we could chat about it. Like I said earlier in the video, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. And don't forget to share my video. I'm sorry that this video came 2 days late, but I was kind of busy this weekend, and I'm just able to get it out to you guys. And I hope you guys really enjoy it. This episode wasn't that much really going on in it. It wasn't that intriguing to me, but I hope I gave you guys a good review. So that's all I have for you guys. Don't forget to holler at your girl. Bye!